Hey, what's up, guys? You're here with Goran, and thank you for joining me here at this time for your free picks for Sunday, February 11th. Well, guys, Saturday was very busy, a lot of games, a lot of free picks. Of course, there was a parlay of the day as well. And Sunday will be fairly busy as well, not as busy as Saturday was, but once again, we have a bunch of free picks, and there is that parlay of the day for Sunday as well. We are slowly coming closer and closer to the Champions League, Europa League, and the Conference League next week. So stay tuned for more free picks. And of course, check out my best bets if you click the link in the description. That will get you up to my page where you can sign up, get a daily pass, 3-day pass, or even a 7-day pass if that's something you want to do. Let's get this show on the road, guys. We won't waste much time. We have a couple of games in the EPL, couple of games in La Liga. We have a few interesting games in Bundesliga as well, and so on and so on. So let's get this show on the road with West Ham versus Arsenal. First game of the day, 9 a.m. Eastern time, and Arsenal is back on the winning streak. They have now won their last three games in a row. With the latest one being against Liverpool 3-1, and they will be looking to continue that against West Ham, who hasn't won any of their last six games. Sure, they have lost only two of those six games, but having four draws and zero wins over this period of time is definitely a disappointing thing for West Ham, who was one of the most consistent teams in the league. Defensively, West Ham is not doing a good job right now. They have conceded 36 goals in 23 games, while Arsenal has conceded 22 in 23 games. And they are quite solid defensively, both at home and on the road. The only difference is that they are scoring a lot more at home than they are scoring on the road, which is nothing unusual, to be honest. Both teams have a couple of injured players, not a lot, but I think this could be a very interesting game because West Ham potentially could see this game as a chance for them to get a draw. I'm not sure they are capable of getting the win considering their current form, but I think that they could be quite dangerous for Arsenal here at home. So I'm gonna go with goals in this one over 2.5. It's minus 143. Not a great price, but not a bad price either. And I will take this price because I think we're gonna see a entertaining game with not a lot of defense, especially from West Ham. So over 2.5 goals. Aston Villa is hosting Manchester United, and I gotta be honest, United is on the rise now, undefeated in the last 5 games, winning four of those 5 games. And how they kept a clean sheet against West Ham is beyond me. But we know that they're a shaky defensive team, especially when playing on the road, where they conceded 5 goals in their last two away games, and that was against Newport County. And it was against Wolverhampton when they conceded 3 goals and almost lost that already uh, one game that they had. As far as Aston Villa goes, they're playing solid, actually better when they're playing on the road than they're playing at home. They haven't won any of their last two home games. As a matter of fact, they've scored only a couple of goals in those two games, and they're coming off of a disappointing performance against Chelsea, where they ended up losing 3-1 at home as well. I think that this is going to be an entertaining game where Aston Villa will definitely go for the win. They definitely have been the more consistent team than Manchester United has this season. The only problem is that they're missing a few defenders that would be in the starting lineup, hence why their defense has been so bad as of late. So uh, I think that Aston Villa has enough offense to compensate for that lack of defense, and I think that United is overperforming a little bit with that defensive performance that they had against West Ham. So I think they can keep a clean sheet here. So I'm going to go with both teams to score an over 2.5. And that is going to be at minus 133. For our next game, guys, we are going to go to Spanish La Liga. We have Sevilla playing against Atletico Madrid, and Sevilla has been anything but consistent this season, while Atletico Madrid is actually coming off of a loss against Athletic Bilbao in Copa del Rey, and that was a bit of a disappointing result because they haven't done much in that game. They haven't scored a goal. They ended up losing 1-0. But we know that Sevilla is not a good defensive team. We know that Sevilla is conceding left and right. They are uh, pretty bad whether they played at home or on the road this season. 2 wins, 5 draws, and 5 losses at home. 19 conceded goals in 12 games, and they will be put under a lot of pressure here against Atletico Madrid. So I'm gonna take Atletico Madrid over 4.5 corner kicks at plus 108. I do expect them to show up in this game. I do expect them to try and get back on the winning track. Whether they succeed or not, we don't know. But They won't get it if they don't try, and I think that they will try. So I'm gonna go with Atletico Madrid over 4.5 corners at plus 108. Barcelona and Granada is the second matchup we're going to talk about here. And Barcelona seems to be playing a little bit better right now. They had a very solid performance against Alaves. They got a red card in that game. Uh, it was that young striker they have. I'm not sure if he was actually given the suspension. Suspension. I think that might have been overturned by the La Liga Soccer Federation because he didn't even touch the guy. But they are now on a two-game winning streak. They have scored 4 goals in those 2 games, kept one clean sheet against Osasuna. And even though Granada on the other side is playing decent football, the positive results they are getting are when they are playing at home. So this is going to be a very, very hard game for them. They have 1 draw and 10 losses in those 11 games on the road, still without a single win, and they are one of the worst teams in the league. So uh, I do expect Barcelona to start fast, to create some chances, try to get on the scoreboard as early as possible. And with that in mind, I think that they will get some corners in this game in the first half. So over 4.5 corners in the first half at plus 100. That's gonna be my pick for this game. In German Bundesliga, we have Stuttgart playing against Mainz, and honestly, I'm a bit surprised that we're getting such a good price on the over 2.5, especially when you consider that Stuttgart is actually scoring a lot of goals right now, and even though they're coming off of a loss against Leverkusen 3-2 in the DFB Pokal match, they still showed up. They scored a couple of goals. They created a ton of chances, and Mainz defensively on the road is not that good of a team. They're conceding 1.7 goals on average, while scoring less than a goal on average. So I think that Stuttgart sees this game as a chance to get back on the winning track, and I think that they might exactly do just that. So uh, without picking the sides here, I decided to go with over 2.5, which is minus 143 right now. Maybe take it on the Asian line total over 3 and risk a push here. But if you go with that, I think the least you're gonna get is the push. So over 2.5 at minus 143. The second game of the day in Bundesliga is between Hoffenheim and Köln. And Hoffenheim just can't keep a clean sheet right now. And I don't think they can do it here as well, especially after Köln beat Eintracht Frankfurt last week. And their confidence is rising. Their confidence is pretty good right now. They feel like they can keep this going, and they feel like they could get above the relegation zone soon. Uh, Both teams to score an over 2.5 at minus 120. That's going to be my pick for this one, and I think it's going to be a nice winner for us. In the Italian Serie, guys, we have Fiorentina hosting Frosinone, and I honestly don't think they deserve to be such a big favorites that they are here. Their form is sloppy. Defensively, they're not doing much, and I think that Frosinone is a decent team that is scoring goals quite consistently right now. So, in this game, guys, to keep it simple, both teams to score at minus 120. That's going to be my pick for this one. Atalanta is traveling to Genoa to see if they can keep their nice winning streak alive, which is now 4 games, and they're coming off of a massive win against Lazio. Uh, they have won their last 3 games in a row at home. Before that, they have beaten Milan in Coppa Italia 2-1 on the road. And I think they will beat Genoa here. That form is very hard to shake when you're on such a great winning streak. And I think that we are getting Atalanta at a great price, and I will try to take advantage of that. I'm going to take Atalanta on the money line at plus 110. And the biggest game of the day in Serie A on Sunday is between Milan and Napoli. And I'm going to keep it very, very simple, guys. Napoli is on a slow rise right now. Their form is trending upwards. They are coming off of a win against Verona 2-1. They will still be without Osimhen, who is their leading goal scorer, but this is still a pretty solid team when it comes to scoring goals. Defensively, not so much. As far as Milan goes, they are missing still a few defenders, and that's actually quite visible that they're missing those defenders because they have conceded at least a goal in each of their last 5 games. They have conceded 2 goals uh, in their last 3 games in a row, and they can't keep a clean sheet right now. The good news is for Milan is that they can score goals, and they have been doing it consistently. So both teams to score at minus 154. I'm gonna go with that simply because I could see potentially this game ending in a 1-1 draw. But however I slice it, I think we're gonna see some goals in this one on both sides. In the French League One, we have an early matchup to start off the day between Le Havre and Rennes, and I think this one could be potentially a letdown spot for Rennes. I know that they are on a huge winning streak. They are actually now on a that is 7 game winning streak. They have kept a few clean sheets. They've scored a bunch of goals, but when playing on the road, Rennes hasn't been scoring a lot of goals, to be honest. Only 8 goals in 9 games. But what kept them alive is the defense, and they actually have a very solid defense with only 10 conceded goals in 9 games. Uh, as far as Le Havre goes, they're not scoring a lot when playing at home. Only what 1.2 goals or so. Defensively, very much solid. Only 9 conceded goals per game. 9 conceded goals in those 9 games, and they're one of the best defensive teams when playing at home this season. So, I think this one could be a bit of a letdown spot for Red. I think it's going to be a tough battle. And I think if anything is going to happen in this one, it's going to happen in the second half. And with that in mind, I'm taking first half draw at plus 100. For our next matchup in the French League One, we have Montpellier playing against Lyon, and I think this one's going to be interesting. We can see that Lyon has gained some confidence. They are on a 2 game winning streak right now. However, both of those games were at home, and playing on the road against a solid team like Montpellier, who hasn't been conceding a lot of goals at home, only 10 goals in 10 games. They also haven't been scoring a lot of goals when playing at home. So I see this game potentially as being very evenly matched, and maybe Lyon deserves a bit of a look here because Montpellier is missing a few players because of the injuries, and their depth is a bit reduced right now. I don't think that Lyon can keep a clean sheet here against Montpellier on the road. So I'm going to go with both teams to score at minus 133. Whoever gets the win, good. If it ends up in a draw, I don't think it's going to be less than 1-1. And with that in mind, I'm taking both teams to score. The last game of the day before the parlay is also in the French Ligue 1 between Nice and Monaco. And you know what? Nice, we know that they're one of the best home teams in the league, if not the best, with only 2 conceded goals in 10 games. Now, they are scoring 1.2 goals on average, and I could definitely see them getting on the scoreboard. But this is a team that focuses on defense rather than offense when playing at home, and it's been doing them. It's been serving them quite well so far this season. As far as Monaco goes, they're scoring 2 goals on average when playing on their own, but they're also conceding almost 2 goals on average. Both teams are missing a bunch of players, especially Monaco, who has a few suspended players because of the red cards. They still have a bunch of injured players as well. And with that in mind, I think that both teams will try to focus a little bit more on defense. So I'm going to go with the first half draw once again at plus 105. Excuse me. Now that we're done with the single picks, guys, we have the parlay of the day. It's a bit smaller than the one we had on Saturday, but I think it's going to be an interesting one. Aston Villa versus United, both teams to score. West Ham versus Arsenal over 1.5 goals. Barcelona team total over 1.5 goals. Hoffenheim versus Cologne over 1.5 goals. And Stuttgart team total over 1.5 goals as well. This 5 leg parlay pays on at plus 319, guys. Like I said, we've been hitting those quite often. Let's keep doing that as well. I hope you have a great Sunday, guys. Good luck with all of your bets. And of course, get ready for that Champions League and those free Champions League picks or my premium picks if that's something you want to do. Have a great day, guys. Good luck, and I'll see you soon with more free picks.